A very good day, viewers, and you're welcome to another episode of your darling program, Youth Can, on independent television ITV. I am your host, Joy Igoche. Youth Can is a platform created by ITV where youth with innovative and entrepreneurial skills share ideas geared towards changing the negative narratives about the Nigerian youth. And I think at this point you may want to tap your friends, loved ones, and neighbors to keep it glued to their screen because today promises to be so interesting. Today's topic of discussion is youth participation in governance. Generally, youth participation in governance comprises political participation and leadership at all fronts. Political participation, according to a scholar, Ekins, in 2010, is a process through which the individual plays a role in the political life of the society and has the opportunity to take part in deciding what common goals of the society are and the best way of achieving these goals. That's what you call real youth participation. One of the challenges facing Africa today is how to actually provide opportunities for the continent's more than 200 million youths so that they can have decent lives and contribute to the socio-economic and political development of their countries. According to the United States in 2010, Africa's population as of 2011 was estimated at 1.05 billion and is expected to double by 2050. About 70% of Africa's population is 30 years of age and younger. In 2011, youths who are defined here are those between ages 15 and 35 years of age, constituting 21% of more than 1 billion people in Africa, whereas another 42% was less than 15 years old. Youth political participation captures the involvement of youths in responsible and challenging political action that meets genuine needs of the people with opportunities for planning or making decisions that affects others in the political system. That is to say that a political participation which involves recognizing and nurturing the strengths, the interests and abilities of the young people through the provision of real opportunities for them to become involved in decision making, taking actions that affect their daily life. So next is views of some young Nigerians concerning governance, and when we return we'll be discussing more on this topic with a special guest in the studio. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
The cliche that the youth are only leaders of tomorrow is now well discredited. The fact is that young Nigerians are currently at the front lines of every consequential struggle for our future. Every consequential struggle that is being waged today. They are serving as members of our armed forces and security agencies, laying down their lives, risking life and limb in the battle against terrorists and other forces of anarchy. They are in civil society, advancing the struggle for a fairer and a more just and humane society by promoting the rights of women and ensuring that concerns and interests of the vulnerable remain at the center of our society's attention.
They have been saying all the while that we are the leaders of tomorrow. The likes of the former president, OBJ, and the rest of them started running the country while they were in their 20s. So I'm happy that we have young people, and like you said, the PDP chairman. So it's now giving us hope that there is hope for Nigeria. And we are going to be having a new, there's going to be a paradigm shift, and we're going to be having a new chat. I just think that the other youth should come and participate. Don't just leave it. Get into politics. Go and register in your local wards. Get into politics. Get into everything that is good that is happening right now, and then take over just occupy the current positions.
The president already signed the Not Too Young to Run bill into law, and it emboldened so many young people today to seek political office. That is what emboldened Kadede to go for the office he has gone for. So we congratulate him, and he has inspired other young Nigerians to also seek offices, not only as youth leaders of their parties. We are even calling on you to seek to be leaders of political parties. Already some are leading political parties. We are calling on you to aspire to be president because the president said he will hand over to young people in 2023. But if we do not sufficiently prepare ourselves, we cannot take power.
Youth participation is actually the way out of all that we are talking about. Because when you bring more youths on board, you are sure that there will be more youth initiative. Youths will now be able to build their constituency and think more about themselves and what they can do for themselves. And it will open up the space, the political space, the leadership space, the economic space. Like you can see the Honorable Commissioner for Lagos State, who is a young person. That alone would have translated to a lot of other youth initiatives that would draw many out of poverty. So I think there have to be more youth inclusiveness in leadership position, in politics. Just recently, one of the major political parties appointed or elected a young person who is about 25 years to man. For the first time, we are seeing the true impact of democracy and what young people can actually do in the final analysis.
Welcome back, and you know what time it is? It's Youth Can, and today we've been talking about youth participation in governance, and I promise you that when we come back we'll be bringing in a special guest to talk about this. And I have with me in the studio Mr. Samuel Eke, who is a youth activist. Thanks for coming, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so today we are still looking about this. We're still talking about this crucial issue of youth participation in governance, which also covers political participation and leadership in general. And we've been seeing that after the independence, the first, the second, and third republic, and all the coup and counter coups we have in these countries were headed by young Nigerians. But since the return of democracy, we've seen that the youths have not been given, that opportunity to actually man major positions and all. It's just like we're having a recycling of leadership in the country. So what would you attribute to this? Would you say that it's because of maybe lack of mentorship, or what's your take on this?
Well, since you went back pre-independence, independence and post-independence era, Nigerian youths have always participated in the process of governance at all levels. Let me use the Fourth Republic, in which we are in. In 1999, a lot of people were governors and they were youths. We can mention names like Ojuz Okalu, he was a youth then. In 2003, you have people like Ali Modu Sherif, they were youths at that point. You have other persons. You have Bankole. Who was also a youth as the number 4 citizen of the country. Youths have always been around. But what has happened is that at a point, a lot of people felt, oh, these are politicians, we are citizens. We don't want to be part of the process. You have a little apathy along the line. But moving forward, I will tell you, in every governance in Nigeria, youths have been there. From independent till date. Even today, you have youths in government. You have people like Yaya Bello, they are youths. You have the governor of Zamfara, he is a youth. In our contest, you have political parties. The position of youths are mounted by the youths. So the youths will stop lamenting. Power is not given, power is taken. Be part of the process. Get your voter's card, be a member of a political party, be part of the process, and seek for power. If you're credible enough, Nigerian youths will support you, and at the end of the day, you emerge as a governor, a president, a senator, member House of Rep. You have a lot of youths in the House of Rep. You have people who were in the House of Rep as youths, people like Hema Hembe. You have Babale Bashir from Kanu. You have a lot of them who are youths, who have been part of decision-making process in Nigeria. You have the Minister of Communication as a youth while he was in NILDA and so on. A youth is also mounting that same agency. So a youth must not be the president. Maybe in the context you're talking is, oh, a youth should be the president because you had military men who were very young at that time, who took over power by the guns. It's not fashionable today in today's world. You also have youths in the pre-independent era, 1914 amalgamation and so on, till we got to the independent. You have youths. The Zigs, they were youths at that time. You also have the military men who came in, they were all youths. So we still urge Nigerian youths today to see it as, I call it, the time of the youth to take over power. These same persons who we think they are recycling themselves is not because they want to recycle themselves. Nobody have challenged them.
Okay, so you feel now mentorship is not a problem for you? Like you feel mentorship is not a problem?
No, you have the issue of mentorship.
Okay.
But I can tell you, people are being mentored. I'm a youth. I have leaders I look up to. I work under a national leader in this country as an essay. So I'm getting mentorship. Do you understand me?
Yes.
It must not be, let me use some prominent people in this country. You have seen boys who worked under them, became governors, became ministers, it was all part of mentorship. They are youths as of while they were holding certain positions. You can see Rotimi Amici as the then speaker. He was a young person. You have a lot of state House of Assembly speakers who are young. You have a lot of young people who are commissioners in their various states who are bringing positive change. They are youths in Nigeria, and they are bringing their own quota to the table to make sure Nigeria is developed. One thing we ought to know is that Nigeria is work in progress. We shouldn't sit back and then keep lamenting. We should come out, be part of the process, contribute our own quota, talk on it. If possible, come out and make a little demonstration and send your message out there to the people in power.
Okay, so would you say that the orientation of the youth, is affecting their participation in politics? Like you said, like you don't have to sit back and wait. You have to aspire for something and work towards it. Do you think it has something to do with the mindset, the orientation and all?
Yes. In between the year 2000 and let's say 1992 to 2004, a lot of things went wrong, and I think some youths lost faith in the system. But at a point they keyed in, because what went wrong is a reward system, fast mentality of getting wealth, shortcut to success, special centers in having WAEC and JAM centers. Within that period, a lot of things went wrong, and it killed our value system, because we had corruption at a high pace. But today, the youths are having conversation among themselves. The youths are doing high-level sensitization and seminars, symposiums, to make sure that it's no longer business as usual. They are part of the process. They are over 50% of the general population of the country. They can change anything if they wish to. And I think the elders have realized that, and they are making changes, a little change here and there, to see how youths will be involved. I give kudos to this government. The Minister of Sport is a youthful-minded person, is a youth. The previous one was also a youth. The Minister of Communication is a youth. And you can see the innovation they brought into government. 75 billion naira youth endowment fund, with the help of people like the Vice President and other stakeholders in government. You can see it's a robust innovation. You can also see in the history of Nigeria, you can see government thinking towards developing the youths with a lot of stimulus package and a lot of programs come here and there coming up virtually every day. Government think towards the youth, because definitely the youths will soon take over aims of affairs in the country, whether we like it or not. Some of the people we think they are recycled, they were youths before they got to be adults. I just gave you an example, like the former governor of Abia. He was a youth while he was a governor. You don't expect him to fold his arms not to contest. If a youth come up to contest against him and Nigerian youths feel that youth is credible enough, what will happen? I have people like my boss who was a senator as a youth, who was elected as a youth. So we don't, President Jonathan didn't come in the class of that recyclement. President Buhari came in because of necessity. There was a lot of issues with that government, and Buhari brought in change, and that the youth supported with everything. It's the same youths that brought in change. So youths have always been part of the process, and they are participating adequately.
Okay, so what do you think are the factors that affect youth's contribution to political development in the country?
As I tell you, you have the good, you have the bad. You have a lot of youths that are productive. You have a lot of youths who are also productive, but in the wrong way. You understand me? It's all about reorientation. That's just what we need. The National Orientation Agency should keep bringing up programs to sensitize the youths. The political parties should start galvanizing Nigerian youths to see that the future is not tomorrow. The future is now. Some of us have run for elections and it was successful. It's either you gain experience or you get the position and contribute your quota.
I like that.
So we are urging the youths, first come out in your numbers. You came out for NSAS, for things you don't. Things, sometimes some people say it matters. To me, that was not a good channel because they said they don't have a leadership at that time. If you can galvanize yourself through social media, why not galvanize yourself to be part of a process of bringing what you think is best for you? When you tell some people, oh, are you a member of a political party? They said no. Do you have a voter's card? They said no. I said, so why are you complaining? You don't even have the right to start complaining because you are neither here nor there. It's either you wake up from your sleep and then say, oh, it is time. Get your voter's cards, get membership card of a political party, any of the political party. Make sure your voice is being heard. Contribute positively to the development of the country in your little businesses, in your little way. Let credibility be the watchword. And Nigerian youths are not blind. They will rally around you, and at the end of the day you come out successful. We had Dino came to the house as a youth, even though, so you have a lot of people who came as a youth. I'm not talking as a partisan person. I'm talking generally in the youthful thing. So nobody should talk down on the youth. The youths are doing their best, and with time, 2023 is another opportunity for Nigerian youths to participate fully. They shouldn't lose hope in the process. they should participate fully. If 80% of the youths in Abuja, precisely, say we need Mr. A as a senator, nothing will stop them. They will achieve it.
Okay, so to what extent do you think the government has actually encouraged youthful participation, maybe in terms of leadership and governance generally? And how would you rate this current administration, in terms of encouraging youthful participation?
Yeah, I'll rate them 60% or above. Okay. In the history of Nigeria, a lot of youths don't believe that government will bring up a program. Anybody in government, they will cash out for 2 years. And in that 2 years, they'll use the opportunity to look for a better job. It happened in this administration. It was very transparent. A lot of youths never believe that during COVID-19, that those funds came, but they saw it. They never believed. They saw themselves being part and parcel of the government. Every productive youth who have keyed in government programs and projects has benefited seriously. I can tell you, the issue of the Anchor Borrowers program, I saw this government putting in a lot of effort to develop the agricultural sector, whereby seedlings of rice, sorghum, and so on will be given to farmers. Paste, chemicals will also be given to them. Funds will be given to them. After harvest, when the product is being sold, you get your money back, government gets his own, you take your profit. It's a program that no youth will believe that government will come that close to the people. Nigerian youth saw. We were still talking about the Anchor Borrowers program. Government now just woke up and said, no, there's a lot of social investment program. We were still thinking a lot of people are in the net of the social investment program. The government said, no, 25 billion is for the youths. And the youths are keying in. And they are benefiting. No government, I will say it, I stand to be corrected, no government have invested such a huge sum. And I can tell you, look around you, you must see somebody who have either benefited from NPower, COVID-19 fund, starter pack, trade money. So this government is doing all it could to make sure Nigerian youths are better off in the future.
Okay, so how would you advise that youth out there, with this desire to govern?
Yeah.
Like, imagine you see this person now and you want to actually talk to the person in terms of governance, in terms of leadership, in terms of, that is desire to govern. What would you say to this particular youth watching us today? This particular youth trying to be better off in a society, trying to govern?
You see, I would advise every Nigerian youth, first, personal development is very important. To key in government programs, be part of the political system, air your views, and never lose hope in Nigeria as a nation. Nigeria will be greater than where it is. Nigeria is a better place. Start thinking of your own personal contribution to making Nigeria great once again.
Okay, so thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
It has been amazing having you on this program.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot for coming. And I believe that my viewers have also enjoyed this session with Mr. Samuel AK. Thank you very much once again. Of course, when the screen looks this good, you know what time it is? It's Youth Can. Yes, and we've been discussing about youth participation in governance, and our guest has really done a whole lot, in this discussion. I want to inform you that Muhammad Suleiman, a 25-year-old, recently emerged as the national youth leader of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, which is one of the few times a political party is producing youth leader with age less than 30. Suleiman hails from Kaduna State, and in the build-up to the convention, Suleiman said he is barely 2 years older than the PDP, which was established in 1998. We hope this breath of fresh air leads to further breakthroughs for the Nigerian youth. Don't give up, because I'm not giving up. We've had a lovely time with our guest today who has enlightened us more on this topic, and I must confess it has been really amazing. We'll be calling it a wrap on this program for today. Do well to join us same time next week for more on Youth Can on Independent Television. I have been your host, Joy Igoche.